So retrain the brain, release the stress and discover inner peace and happiness. This is the program, Easternwisdom. When I say it is 6,000 years old, we have thousands of teachers in the text. And they all gave us customized practices to help us to manage our pain. And that pain includes all the physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain. What do you think? You have more emotional pain than physical? Even 1% of emotional pain becomes 1,000%. And the science has understood that when you have a chronic pain, physical, it creates the pain pathways in the brain. So sometime even if you don't have a pain, it turns out to be an emotional pain. Come on, it's okay. Sorry is a very good word. Come on, don't say sorry. Come on. The second is, the Eastern wisdom helps us to live at the optimum level of health and the well-being, and that is what we take in our second session. And the third point, that we discover that inner peace and happiness, so you start living in peace and happiness. The goal, the end point, the journey ends and the new journey begins. When the journey ends, when you start living in inner peace and happiness, count what may, whatever happens outside. Whatever happens outside, you are settled in your real self. You start living into that inner peace and happiness. That is the first point of awakening. And if you grow that presence of the peace and happiness inside you, it leads to realization. You realize the points where you are not living in peace and happiness. Maybe in relationship, maybe with your body, with your mind, and lot of past impressions that causes you this stress. And the third point comes the transformation. When the next journey starts, it is also a journey. It is not a destination. So when you awaken to that peace and happiness, that is first, you grow into the presence, that is realization, and then you start transforming. And that transformation takes years together for everyone, whether one is enlightened or not, or awakened or not. Don't you see that this is like a pit turn downward? Pit. The bowl. Bowl is moving, pointing downward. Yeah?
Whatever you say.
No, why should I say? I'm asking. That pit, that is the skull. And skull, you might have seen in pictures, if you have not seen in reality, the empty skull. So that is like a bowl. And then the bowl is turned downward. Now I'm explaining something about Kundalini, because I take up a lot of steps from the Kundalini meditations. So I'm not talking about what is very famous in America. So what is famous in America is the best thing to do, isn't it? So that creates the problem. So the Kundalini, Sanskrit word. Kunda means pit, a bowl. It means the essence, real meaning is the bowl. So when you say Kundalini, it's that pit. They really talking about the dormant potential of the brain. And what we understand, Kundalini is a 3.5 times coiled snake. Do you have a snake inside your spine? So Kundalini is known as, Carmela knows. So Kundalini is known as, it is snake. It is like a snake. But still we say it is a potential energy. So when we say energy moves like a snake, that is where another famous description of the Kundalini. So when we say 3.5 times coiled, that means the power of knowledge, the power of intention, and the power of action. 3 times and half times is an awakening state. That is what it means by an awakening state of, that is how it explains 3.5 times coiled. So we have to trigger, we have to straighten it by the power of wisdom, by the power of intention. What is my intention? I should get lot of wealth. My honey should change, but I should not change. Why? I'm always right. And that causes a lot of problems. Now, I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying I am right. You see that? So there we have to bring about a change. That is what the Kundalini means. The lowest center of the Kundalini is the survival center. If the mind is constantly engaged in the survival, then what happens? You always have a big face. That's why I say that keep smiling all the time. But anyhow, I have understood that now, after meeting first time, when you meet me, even you have to forcibly smile. You don't want to smile. So that's survival center. The center of the survival is the lowest center. What it means by survival center? I'm beset with the fear and the anxiety. I'm constantly thinking, obsessed with the physical body and the possessions. Can I change that mindset? The energy starts moving upward. The second center is the center of the desire. When I desire something outside, it is a sense of incompleteness, and it comes from the accumulated impressions of the likes and dislikes. So the desire is the second center. You already know it. The second center from bottom. And the third center is about the greed. Only the fourth center, that center simply means a state of mind that is very clear, that is not using the energy in fear, in anxiety, in duality and a conflict. Then only you become qualified to awaken the Kundalini. Everyone, let me awaken the Kundalini in you. Let me show you the color in the visions. Why should I see the color in visions when I can see these colors with my open eyes? We don't contemplate. We don't reflect on it. Half read, half understood, and then we start saying that, okay, you see that? I see the God sitting in my lower center, Ganesha. The lowest center is the seat of Ganesha. Why the hell Lord Ganesha has to sit in my lower center? He found only that place to sit there. So we don't contemplate, we don't question people. We don't question even the teacher. No, it is there. Okay, the God is sitting there and I'm a lot of stress. Second God is sitting there, I'm still suffering. So please get rid of these misconceptions. The God has a different meaning, and one of the meaning is the functional aspect of it, functional entity. Yeah? We say there is a mind, there is an intellect, there is an ego, and there is a mind step. All are essentially one, but functionally they are different. Same thing, these gods are functional aspects. No God is said. Why the God has to sit inside me, after all? God will become crazy. Yeah? So you see that. So what we do in this Kundalini, that the energy that is engaged and involved into our unconsciousness, we release that energy. In mindfulness, we directly discover that higher state of the consciousness. Here we ask the energy to be released. Simple process, simple understanding. You lit the candle and there is no wind. So where the flame points to? The flame always points upward. So when it happens, when there is no wind of desire, when there is no wind of anxiety, when there is no wind of greed in my mindset, the mind is free. And now that energy naturally moves upward. And it makes the journey easy and carefree. That is what we have been doing for the last couple of weeks. So what happens now? I'm purely coming to this traditional wisdom. When you release that energy, you harmonize. The mind is one-pointed. It has left all the distractions. That energy starts moving upward. And that energy merges with the mind. It merges the mind. So when it merges the mind, then what happens? You awaken to the higher states of the consciousness. That is what you experience inner peace and happiness and love and the wisdom. The goal is the same. Goal is the same. Last thing, then we'll start with the practice. There is an ascending process. But without descending process, you can never experience peace and happiness. We always think about, there is an ascending process. When you lift this energy up, it has reached here, and your still mind is full of anxiety and the fear, that energy jumps from the top and reaches again. Done. It puts you into same anxiety and the fear. Same craving, same problems. So there has to be an ascending process and there has to be a descending process. What descends down? Peace, happiness, love, and the wisdom. What is ascending? The pure energy. Free from the distractions, free from the wind of greed, anxiety, duality, and a conflict. So it means we have to work both on the mind. I have to find out what is the goal of my life. The moment you leave my space, you sit on the car, mind says, okay, my honey is doing this, my boss is doing. You instantly your mind moves there, and still you expect me. Okay, I feel little relaxed. You are responsible, not me. Why should I take responsibility if your mind continues to wander into those states? So the moment the mind thinks of negativity, that energy simply drops down. Don't you experience the lightness in the body when you are happy? It doesn't mean that the weight of the body drops down. It is a descending process of that peace. And you start thinking of craziness, you start thinking of negativity, you start blaming others, reacting others, and then see what happens to the body. So that Kundalini is a very subtle aspect of understanding a relationship between the body, the breath, the brain, the mind, the energy. And that is why I take up in the 5 different steps to make you understand. Let us start our journey. Leave that. You heard me? Thank you. You didn't hear me? Thank you. Let us start. Lie down, sit. Now your mind may be arguing itself, he doesn't know. Yes, I don't know. I accept it. Who cares? No, I'm not angry. I'm okay. Huh?
Why do you think negative, Girish?
Huh?
Why do you think negative?
Now I stopped thinking negative. Changed. Thank you, my friend. You reminded me. I love you, Anna. I love you.
You too.
So eyes are closed. Get ready. The first 5 minutes of understanding this mind, where the mind is. You see? Now, see the other perspective. So, wherever the mind is, we bring it back to the survival. That survival instinct always works when my mind claims I am the body. So, what we are doing, look at the neck joint. You see how subtle the process is. So look at the neck joint, you feel the sensation, you are comfortable and steadiness. If you are not comfortable, you can adjust and align the neck joint. You have total freedom. Then look at the shoulder joints. Don't take it for granted. Every time I explain you, you have to have an awareness. Feel the shoulder joint. Feel the sensation there. Let your mind declare you are comfortable. Experience the steadiness. You know, sometimes what happens? Our mind, when it is dictated by a rajasic activity, and I'll explain you what is rajasic. Then what happens? It never thinks, oh, it is comfortable, I'm already comfortable. And the mind continues to think. Who misses the practice? You, not me. So look at the hip joint, you feel the sensation. Do you really feel the sensation around the hip joint? You feel it is comfortable, you experience it is steady. That makes the difference between in the entire journey. You miss one step, you miss all. Maybe you pick up one step 100%, everything changes. So every step has many points. Now look at the knee joints and the ankle joints, feel the sensation. When I say you to feel the sensation, I'm not forcing you. Why? We all are alive. We all live with those sensations. What I said, simply become aware. Where? It is your body. And sometimes what happens when you live in anxiety and emotional turbulence day to day, and also with a chronic pain, the same mind doesn't want to go to the body because it is scared of the same pain. That is why I guide you. Please do the first step, that is totally passive. Don't take your mind anywhere. However, choice is yours. Second, so body is comfortable. Second point, be carefree, free from all the cares. Let the thought come and go, feeling, sensation, whatever is happening. The mind experiences everything, sensation, feeling, thinking, knowledge, wisdom, anxiety, stress, duality, conflict, pain. You are different from the experiences. That is the real meaning of being carefree. That is the meaning of let the thought come and go. So here the thought is used for all the experiences of the mind. It's a very deeper aspect. Last month I picked up only these first steps and I extended the 3 steps for an hour. And my private student went into a very deeper meditative state. Who is responsible? You. You see that? Third point, being casual, natural, looking deep inside the head or the heart. So when you are looking inside the head or the heart, you are aware of the emptiness of the space. Okay? In that state of the emptiness, Let the mind dive deep within. And when you become aware, or when you feel as if the mind is dropping deep down, let it dive deep down. Sometime you will experience the mind drops into a deep, dark well. And after some time you experience as if it has stopped. Mind has never stopped. You have touched the real self. You experience the presence. That is the goal of any meditation, all meditation, including Kundalini. So you see that naturally we created an intent also. Oh, this is what we need to reach there. First step is done. Now coming to the second step, I have been talking about it, a release of the energy from the unconscious mind and the impressions that causes the mind to blame, to react, to hesitate, to live into that state of the pain. And that step also has to be done with an active and a passive step, without even allowing the mind to intervene. First step, look inside the chest and start breathing from the chest playfully and gently. Breathing in and out through the nostrils into the chest, and keep looking inside the chest. Two things happens. Your same habitual mind reacts, resists. When it reacts and resists, it changes the rhythm of the breath. And when it changes, you fail. Yes, you make me also fail. So keep that rhythm. Second reaction comes because you have a new experience. Accept that. Don't worry about it. You are in safe hands. That takes time. That is why I say it is a journey. It is not a destination. Continue. 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 And stop it. So once you stop, check through your conscious experience, both the arms, feeling of the sensation, relaxation and the stillness, both the legs, move the mind on both the legs. Is your mind ready to move the mind on both the legs again and again and again? You don't feel bored, and if you feel bored, and if you claim, your mind claims, I have done it, means mind wants to rush somewhere outside. You see, it's such a subtle process. And we start thinking, okay, let the God sit in my tailbone and help me. God is not crazy like us. Experience the entire body. There is a sensation, there is a relaxation, there is a stillness. So what happens in that state of sensation, relaxation, and stillness? You are naturally lifting the mind from the survival, from the desire, from the greed or anxiety, and pulling it inside the heart, where we set the goal. See how easy it is. And then we create, all the big stories around this Kundalini and we miss it. So, look inside the belly. And start breathing from the belly out and inside. Inhale, the belly goes up. Exhale, the belly drops down. So it is definitely a little longer breath. Make it rhythmic. Belly, breathing. It is rhythmic. Don't allow the mind to interrupt the rhythmic process of the breath. Then it takes care. Then it happens, something beautiful happens. And then you say nothing happens. Not all, I know that, Continue. How simple it is when you understand. Continue. I know you will continue to have a variety of experiences of tingling, of numbness, of something happening inside the head. You see that? Something happens inside the head first, the dormant potential. I explained you the pit, the bowl turned downward. And stop it. Again experience the change. Look at the head and the neck. Experience relaxation, sensation and stillness. Both the arms. Do you remember? Move the mind again on both the arms. Gently, slowly, with awareness. Why we do it? From the scientific point of view, we all have a scientific mind. That's why we always ask, how? Is there scientific evidence? But it is a journey to the subjective reality. Science has yet to understand, create a protocol. That we don't understand. So experience the sensation, relaxation and stillness. Look at both the legs. Move the mind on both the feet, both the legs, from the waist to the toes. Move it again. And now you can pick up one sensation. When you move it again, you experience the sensation deepens. And if that happens, the mind is with you and the energy is released. It's a very subtle process. There are a lot of things to be understood. And the best part is, you make a conscious journey. Chest and belly, sensation, relaxation and stillness. The entire body, sensation, relaxation and stillness. Conscious journey means what? There is no danger. You cannot say I was driving with 100% awareness and alertness on a highway, even then I met with an accident. Not possible. How can you have dangers when you are taking a journey consciously into this program and the practice? See that? Simple understanding. Now, look deep inside the forehead and start breathing long in the hissing breath, both from the belly and the chest. Keep your focus inside the forehead in the space. Continue, my friends. Long in the hissing. Now you have understood. Your mind has become mature. The mind is focused inside the forehead, and you are continuing the journey with a long in the hissing breath. Rather, you are enjoying. You don't feel you are exhausted. If that happens, you are doing it correctly. Continue. Accept all the changes that is coming. at the physical, mental, and the emotional level. What we start doing, I'm exhausted. How come you can be exhausted? If you are doing it with awareness and attention. And stop it. So you see another pointer that I threw, that let the time come when your mind says, no, I enjoy, I can do more. At that moment, what happened to the mind? The mind is withdrawn inside. It has left the energy that was engaged in the unconsciousness. That is how we pick up and understand the process. No, I feel too much. But thank you, still you're here. Look at the head and the neck and feel the sensation, relaxation in the stillness, both the arms, sensation, relaxation and stillness. Both the legs, sensation, relaxation in the stillness, chest and the belly. Same experience, move the mind on the entire body. And what? Experience the change. You have to learn from your own experiences. The teacher who is speaking to you has to do nothing. I'm not a man who does miracle and other things. Live into that experience of the sensation, relaxation and stillness. You may be experiencing calmness and the quietness. There are many ways. In the third step, there are many ways to do it. So because you have been doing it, so let's pick up for harmonizing. Take a deep, silent and slow breath into the belly and the chest, and while breathing out, make the humming sound. Louder, deeper and longer. Louder, deeper and longer. Stop it, but continue breathing deep, silent and slow without making any noise. As you inhale deeply, look deep inside the belly button and start dropping mentally the mantra Kleem, Kleem, Kleem. Minimum inhalation 10 times, 10 Kleem in one inhalation. Now you started exhaling, but keep your mind deep inside the belly button and continue with the same mantra. Clean, 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 clean. 10 times. Why I said today, let you understand what kind of an awareness you need. The breath is deep, silent, and slow. 1. The body remains in the state of sensation, relaxation, and calmness. 2. And the breath is going, the mind is diving, dropping inside the belly button, and the mantra is clean, clean, clean. So in one inhalation, you drop in one inhalation 10 times. You drop in one exhalation 10 times. But gently, with love and care. We are not in anxiety now. We are already in the state of the calmness. But the calmness is not the end point. We need to awaken to the presence inside that we discussed today. So some may fall into deep sleep, some will move horizontally deeper inside, and some others will move upward because of you. And now continue with the same deep, silent, and slow breath, but now the focus is deep inside the heart. As the breath goes in, start looking deep inside the chest. The mantra is Hreem, 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 Hreem. One inhalation, you drop 10 Hreem. One exhalation, you drop 10 Hreem. Hreem, 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 Hreem. Breath is deep. So means what? What is going to happen? The mind will align itself with such a deep breath where you can drop the 10 Hreem. So you see that we are working both on the mind and the breath. At the same time, we are lifting that energy upward. Is there any danger? No. With total awareness and alertness, you are driving on a highway of the journey to the self-discovery. How can you meet with any kind of accident? How can you have some danger? I'm only responsible for my own program with a disclaimer, not with others. And now look inside the forehead. Continue with a deep, silent, and slow breath. As you start inhaling, move the mind deep inside the forehead in the space and drop 10 aim. The mantra here is aim, 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 aim. When you exhale, aim, 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 aim. Let me remind you, when you drive on the highway and if the mind starts thinking, you do not stop the car. So if you stop the car, means the breath. It has to be continuous. And if you stop the car, recognize your mind has too much of anxiety and the stress inside. You may think otherwise. But if the breath moves in a flow, on that flow, you drop 10 times. And any single moment you stop, give a break to the breath. Recognize you have to change that mindset. It is the problem with the mind. You see how you recognize your own problem. Aim on the 10 aim with every inhalation and exhalation, and attention and awareness is deep inside the forehead. And now drop everything, drop the long breath, let the breath be normal. Without the breath, pick up only aim. Look inside the forehead, in the space, gently, lovingly, and drop mental aim. Then move closely, gently, lovingly inside your heart. Aim. Inside your belly button. Aim. We are not taking support of the breath now. So again, aim. Aim inside and aim inside the belly button. So consciously we are into the descending process. Descent. What is descent? Bringing the peace and the happiness down. When the peace and happiness goes down into the survival center, what happens? Anxiety drops. When the peace and happiness drops into the center of the desire and the greed and the craziness, what happens? You know it. Casual. Everyone perhaps did very well. I appreciate your commitment. Continue the journey. And now doing nothing, simple. You are doing nothing. Awakening means what? You're not doing anything, it is happening. In the state of the doing nothing, you learn from your own experiences. Only learning from your own experiences will help you evolve, to change. My talking will never help you. It is just a pointer. When it goes inside the head, and it goes inside the head when you are on a journey. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand. Bring your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Now ask your own mind, what is your experience? Good, bad, high, low. We'll share it so that we help ourselves to progress on the path. Bring your hands down, and this is. Now it's your turn to share your experiences. Good, bad, high, low. So, honey, how are you?
Good.
Good?
Yes.
Good. And second, honey, how are you?
Lovely. Delicious.
Delicious? Yes, you have to choose honey at your home or the honey here. Honey, how are you? Third honey.
Really fast today.
Yes, we spend a lot of time. You feel good? Happy? Yeah. Fourth honey, how are you?
I'm very happy here.
Very happy. I could see everyone did wonderful, but let me have. How are you, honey?
Good. I would like it to be longer too.
Longer too, yes. Yeah, that's why I'm organizing. That workshop. So in May, I think they're announcing. How are you, honey? Fifth honey. Sixth, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. No, okay. How are
I
you?
need to understand.
No, you are honey. So how are you, honey?
I'm okay. Much better.
Much better.
Yes.
Your expression tells me the story. It is a short time. It moved fast. Mind wants to remain into that state. Yeah? Wonderful. How are you, honey? Seventh, honey?
I'm good. I think
You
I'm
feel-
learning to put my mind
Yes.
whatever it is thinking.
Today it was much better.
Much better.
Much better. I could see that the way you were returning. I could feel that. Yes, that's wonderful. How are you, honey?
I'm okay.
Calm, relax. How are you, honey?
I'm feeling relaxed, but I just want to ask, while inhaling, I could not count the 10 times game or in. While exhaling, I was able to, but
While inhaling, you cannot. Yes. I'll just.
It's like maybe 4 times or 5 times, but not 10 times.
Yeah. The inhalation is an excitatory phase, and where we need an extra awareness to keep the breath down, slowing. So it indicates something going on inside. I don't know, but you didn't tell me. So by nature or by habit, we also have the same pattern. So when we cannot count 10 while during inhalation, and we can count during the exhalation, one thing is clear. That somewhere we have a sense of anxiety or a reaction, some accumulated impression returns. But continue doing it. It will happen. How are you, honey?
Relax and
Relaxed? Good. How are you, honey?
oh, I'm fine. Yeah.
Fine? Yes. So there are a lot of permutation and combinations. So when I experienced that everyone, nobody moved actually, And in the first two steps, I could see that everyone's remained still, experienced that. So I said, no, let me add one more advanced step. See, because it is you who ask me. I don't do by myself. Because when the entire group is doing very good, then I see that yes, how to add another step. So a simple thing, always talk about it, even if you go outside. I'm not teaching from my own understanding. So it's coming from the traditional. So see the science in this meditation, Kundalini aligns with each other. That the dormant potential of the brain needs to be awakened. So when you awaken that dormant potential, the mind undergoes a change. And now the latest understanding of the science is also talking about neuroplasticity. It talks about epigenetics, neurogenesis. Means what? Neuroplasticity, it can change the structure and the function of the brain. What will happen to me if it changes the structure and the function of the brain? My attitude, my behavior, my way of living, my responses will change. I'll be more positive. The pain will be less. I will withstand the pressure of the anxiety. I will withstand the pressure coming from the external world in relationship. No, I'm just explaining you. That is what the neuroplasticity in practice means. Okay, you want to do it, do it. Thank you.